If we want to move up, if we want to bust through that bamboo ceiling, the voice is a very important tool. And I'm talking about the tone of your voice. You want to speak in a loud, clear voice, because that sounds like leadership. You don't want to be that guy on the party you could hear from 20 miles away, right? But you want to speak in a loud, clear voice. You don't want to do this, where people have to come up and say, what? I'm sorry? What is this? What's this? No? Right? Because you want people to hear you. You are all smart. You're all talented. You're all here because you have something to share. So you need to get that voice and get out there and speak. You want to avoid vocal fry tones, okay? That's where you get in this gravelly part of your voice. And sometimes, like, teenage girls do it, and it sounds really weird. But sometimes, right, all of us get down in that gravelly part of our voice, which is not easy to hear or understand, and it doesn't really project authority. One other thing I want to talk about is that some of us sometimes get into a pattern where we're talking and we're making statements, but the voice goes up at the end, so it kind of sounds like a question. Right? What do you think people's perception of you is if you speak that way? Any ideas?
No conclusion at all.
You have no conclusion. You're not sure. Like, you're saying things, but you're not really sure if what you're saying is right or makes any sense. And that's not what we want. So in the U.S., questions go up at the end, but almost everything else is a statement. The sentence, the period of the sentence goes down. And that projects authority. I have spoken. There is the period at the end of the sentence. Okay? All right. So, one other thing I got to tell you is Americans hate silence. We're not good at it. So most of the time when you are speaking with a native English-speaking American and there's silence in the conversation, what are they going to do? They're going to start talking. So if you are a person who is used to hanging back and leaving space in the conversation for other people, make sure that you don't leave too much space, because they will drive a herd of elephants through that space. Okay? So you want to make sure that you are assertive and that you're heard. Now sometimes you don't have something brilliant to say. That happens to all of us. And so you can do what is kind of like when somebody's shutting the door and you stick your foot in there, right? You can do the vocal equivalent of that. And you could say, you know, and then you've got like 3 seconds to come up with something brilliant, okay? 3 seconds, think fast. But you can't just hang back and expect necessarily for people to be polite and leave you space in the conversation, especially in a work environment where there's a lot of people together competing for the same stuff.